I'm yesterday I told about a new book named Roald, and a Giant's Peach. Last video we read from page 50 to page 70. So this video will read from page 70 to page the last of this book, and I'll tell you about the last happening in this book after James had to be done in the cave and meet a new characters. So after we read this video, a new book named James and a Giant's Peach, we'll continue to read a new book named Roald, Fantastic Meteor Fox. So this video I will learn about the last happening of this book and then tell you about a new book I have learned or I have told you today. So now let's start to read the new chapters or new pages in this book. Now let's start with me. They all watch it against, and now as thought as the signal from the leaders and the other sharks Forge came swimming in towards Peach, and they clustered around it and began to attack it furiously. They must have been 20 or 30 of them at least, and all pushing and fighting and lashing the tail for churning. The water to the froth. Panic and pandemonium broke out immediately on top of the Peach. "Oh, we're finished now," cried Mr. Spider, wringing her feet. "They will eat all for the Peach, and then there'll be nothing left from the stand, and they'll start on us." "She is right," shouted the Lady Birch. "We're lost forever." "No, I don't want to be eaten," wailed the earthworm, "but they will take me first of all, because I'm so fat and juicy, and I have no bones." Is there nothing we can do?" asked the Lady Birch, appealing to James. "Surely you can think of the ways out of this." Suddenly they were all looking at James. "Think," begged Mr. Spider. "Think, James, think." "Come on," said the centipede. "Come on, James. There must be something we can do." The eyes waited up and him, tense, anxious, particular, hopeful. 20. "There is something that we can believe we might try." "James," Henry Trotter said slowly, "I'm not saying it's words." "Tell us," cried the earthworm. "Tell us quick. We'll try anything you see," said the caterpillar. "But hurry, but be quiet and let the boy speak." "And," said the Lady Bird, "go on, James." They only moved a little closer to him. There was a long pause. "Go on," they cried frantically. "Go on." And all the time, while they were waiting, they could hear the sharks thrashing around the water, blowing them. It was enough to make anyone frantic. "Come on, James," said the Lady Birch, coaxing him. I'm afraid it's not good after all," James murmured, shaking his head. "I'm terribly sorry I forgot it." Shaking his head. "We don't have any string. We'll need hundreds of yards of string to make this work." "What sort of string?" said the old grasshopper sharply. Any sort." So just long and so strong. But my dear boy, it's exactly what we have. We've got all you want. How weird the silkworm, cried the old green grasshopper. Didn't you ever notice the silkworm? She still stares. She never moves. She just lies there sleeping all day long. But we can't easily wake her up and make her spin. And what about me, may I ask? Said Mary Spider. I can spin just as well as any silkworm. What's more, I can spin patterns. Can you make enough between you? Asked James. As much as you want and quickly. Of course, though, and what's it to be strong, the strongest there is. It's as thin as the figure. But why? What are you doing and going to do? I am going to lift this peach clear out of the water, James announces confidently. You're mad, cried the earthworm. It's our only chance. The boy crazy. He's joking. Go on, James, said Ladybug gently. There you going to do it, Skyhooks. I am suppose jars the centipede seagulls. Giles answered calmly. The place is full of them. Look up there. They all looked up to saw the great mass of seagulls wheeling around and around in the sky. I'm going to go from the long string, James went on, and I am going to loop one end of it round a seashell's neck, and then I'm going to tie the other end to the stem of the peach. He pointed to the peach stem, which was standing up like a short, thick mast in the middle of the deck. Then I'm going to get another seagull and do the same things again. Then another and another. Ridiculous, they shouted. Azorp, poppycock, boulderdash, madness. And the old green grasshopper said, how can a few seagulls lift an enormous things like this out into the air, and all of us as well? It could take hundreds, thousands. There is no shortage of seagulls, James answered. Look for yourself. We'll probably need 400, 500, 600, maybe even 1,000. I don't know. I shall simply go on hooking them up into the steam until we enough to laugh us. They'll be bound to laugh us to the end. It's like a balloon. You give someone enough balloon to hold. I mean really enough, then up he goes, and a seagull has far more lifting power than a balloon. It's only we have the time to do it. If only we can sink first up by those awful sharks. We are absolutely off your head, said the earthworm. How can the earth be proposed to look into the street around a seagull neck to get a loop of the seagull? I suppose you're going to fly up there yourself and catch it. The boy's daddy, said the cuttipate. Let him finish, said the ladybird. Go on, James. How would you do it? With bait? Bait? What sort of bait? With the worm, of course. Seagulls love worms. Didn't you know that? And luckily for us, we have here for the biggest, fastest, pinkest, juiciest earthworm in the world. You can stop right there. The earthworm said sharply. There's quite enough. Go on, the other said, beginning to grow interest. Go on, the seagulls have already spotted him. James continued, but why? There are so many of them circling around the gardens. Come down and get for the wild of the rest of us are standing here. So this is what? Stop, cried the earthworm. Stop, stop, stop. I won't have it. I refuse. I, I, I. Be quiet, said the caterpillar. Mind your own business. I like that, my dear earthworm. You're going to be eaten anyway, so that differences just does its make withered to make the sharks or the seagulls. I won't do it. Why don't we hear for the plan is first? But the old green grasshoppers, I don't give a hoot what the plan is, cries the earthworm. I am not going to be packed to death by the bunch of the seagulls. You will be to the mortyards, said the caterpillar. I shall respect you to the rest of your life. So will I, said Mr. Spider, and your name will be in the newspaper. Earthworm gives him to save friends. But we don't have to give him life. James told them. Now listen to me. This is what we'll do to have it. 21. Why, it is so absolutely brilliant, cried the old green grasshopper. When James had explained the plan, the boy's a genius, said Caterpillar. His plans for the boy's a genius. Now I can keep my boots on after all. Oh, I shall be pecked to death, wailed the poor earthworm. Of course I won't. I will, I know I will, but I won't ever even be able to see them coming at me because I have no eyes. James went over and put an arm gently round the earthworm's shoulders. I won't let you to touch you, he said. I promise I wouldn't. But we've got hurry. Look down there. Look where there are sharks than ever now around for the peach in the water was boiling with them. There must have been 90 or 100 at least, and to have the travelers up on top, it certainly seems to throw the water action stations. James shouted, jump to it. There's not a moment to lose. He was a captain now, and everyone knew it. They would have to whatever he told them. All hands below deck except Earthworm, he ordered. Yes, yes, they said eagerly, and they scattered for the tunnel entrance. Come on, let's hurry. And you, Caterpillar, James shouted, hop downstairs for the silkworm to work at once. Tell her to spin as she never spun before. Our life depends upon it. And we're sending supplies to you, Mr. Spider. Hurry on down, start spinning. 22. In a few minutes, everything was ready. As it was very quiet now on the top of the peach, it was nobody in the sights, and nobody except for the earthworm. One half of the earthworm was looking at the great, thick, juicy pink sausage lay innocently in the sun for the seagulls to see. The other half of him was dangling down to the tunnel. James was crouching close beside the earthworm in the tunnel entrance just before the surface, waiting for the first seagull. He had a loop of silk string in his hands. The old green grasshopper and the lady were farther down to the tunnel, holding onto the earthworm's tail, ready to pull him quickly into the danger as soon as James gave the word. And far below into the great sandstone of the pitch was a glowworm. It was lightning in the room so that two spinners, the silkworm and the spinner spider, could see that they were doing. The caterpillar was down there too, exhorting them both frantically to greater effort, and every now and again James could hear his voice coming up faintly from the depths, shouting, "Spin, silkworm, spin, you right fast, sassy Brett, faster, faster, or you will throw you two sharks. Here comes the first seagull," whispered James. "Keep still now, earthworm, keep still. The rest of you get ready to pull. Please don't let it spike me," begged the earthworm. I want, shh." One of the corner of one eye, James watched for the seagull and came swooping through down towards the earthworm, and then suddenly it was so close he could see the small black eyes and its curved beaks. And the beak was open, ready to grab a nice piece of the flesh in the earthworm back. So this video I'll read from page 50. So now I'll read from page 98. So I will go for drink some water, and we can have some new activities for reading this book. I'll be next for a few seconds, or for 20 seconds to 25 seconds. So I'll be back for some seconds. Now I will go to have some water. Let's wait for me some minutes. So wait for me some minutes. I'll be back later. So I'll be back. I'll read it. The old green grasshopper and the lady birch gave the earthworm tail an enormous tug, and like magic the earthworm disappeared in the tunnel. At the same time, out went James' hand for the seagull, flew right into the loop of the silk as he was holding out the loop, which had been cleverly made of the frightened just as the right amount and the capture. "Hooray!" shouted the old green grasshopper, peering out of the tunnel. "Well done, James." So this video will all read of this book. Have you heard James and the Giant's speech? Read Julian's around its toots. So next video we'll read a new book named Roald Fantastic Mr. Fox. This video is till then. Goodbye everyone. Thanks for listening to my video. Goodbye since time. I sort of love you. Goodbye. Thanks for everyone listening and watching my video. Goodbye.